Hey, I'm Marcus, 26 warehouse supervisor in Austin, Texas. I load trucks, manage inventory, and clock out smelling like cardboard and diesel. My life's pretty simple. Gym at 5 a.m., work by 7, home by 6, meal prep on Sundays. I've got a routine and I like it that way. My buddy Devin set me up. Cornered me during lunch break, said his girlfriend had a friend who needed a decent date. No drama, just coffee. I said no 3 times. He wore me down with promises of free Spurs tickets. Thursday, 7 p.m., Halcyon Coffee on South Congress. I walked in scanning for the girl from the heavily filtered Instagram photo Devin showed me. Then I saw her. Corner table, facing the door like she'd been watching me look for someone else. She was fat, not the soft filter kind. Real, taking up space fat. She wore a rust-colored dress that didn't apologize for her body, silver hoops catching the light, dark curls pulled back with a yellow scarf. Her eyes were brown, sharp, already reading my face, like a book she'd read before. "You're Marcus," she said. Not a question. "I'm Vanessa, and yeah, Devin's girlfriend definitely sent you old photos of me. Classic." I stood there like an idiot, gym bag still on my shoulder. She didn't look away, didn't shrink. Just waited. I sat down. "He didn't show me anything recent." "Nope. I gained 60 pounds after college. Thyroid, then depression, then I stopped caring what strangers thought." She stirred her coffee, the spoon clinking against ceramic. "You can leave. I've seen that look before. The math you're doing in your head." I set my bag down, ordered black coffee when the barista came over. Vanessa tilted her head, curious. "What math?" I asked. "Whether staying makes you the good guy or the guy who settles?" I thought about it, really thought, then said, "I'm just here for coffee. Everything else is just noise." Her smile was small, surprised. "That's a new one." We met again the next Saturday. Same coffee shop, different table. This time by the window, where the light hit the street art across the road. She brought a book, some thick fantasy novel with a dragon on the cover. I brought nothing, just showed up early. She noticed. "Eager or nervous?" "Both," I admitted. We talked about real things. She was a junior copywriter at an ad agency, the kind of job where everyone's 30 and burned out by noon. She wrote taglines for products she'd never buy, sat through meetings where grown adults argued about font colors. But she loved words, the way they fit together, the rhythm of a good sentence. I told her about the warehouse, the way forklifts sound like distant thunder, how I'd worked my way up from floor loader to supervisor in 4 years. She listened like it mattered, asked questions about weight distribution and logistics like she actually wanted to know. "You care about precision," she said, leaning back. "I can tell. Boxes fall if you stack them wrong. Words fail if you place them wrong," she grinned. "We're not that different." I asked her out properly after that. Dinner, not coffee. She hesitated just for a second. "You sure?" "Because I eat. Like, actually eat. I'm not ordering a salad and pretending I'm full." "Good. I hate watching people pick at food." We went to a barbecue place on East 6th. Sticky tables, paper towels for napkins, brisket that fell apart when you looked at it. She ordered a full plate, ate every bite, licked sauce off her thumb without apology. I watched her, not because of how she ate, but because she was fully present. No phone, no checking her reflection, just there. Halfway through, a guy at the next table whispered something to his girlfriend. They both glanced over, smirked. Vanessa saw it. Her jaw tightened, but she didn't stop eating. I leaned forward. "What's the best thing you ever wrote?" She blinked, surprised by the redirect. Then she told me about a campaign for a local bookstore. 10 words that made people cry. Her whole face changed when she talked about it. The whispering didn't matter anymore. 3 weeks in, she stopped answering texts. No warning, no fight, just silence. I sent a message Tuesday morning. "You good?" "Nothing." Wednesday. "Did I do something?" "Nothing." Thursday I called. Straight to voicemail. I told myself to let it go. People ghost. It happens, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd missed something. Friday night I drove to her apartment, a small complex near campus, the kind with a sad pool nobody uses. I didn't have a plan, just knocked on her door like an idiot. She answered in sweatpants and an oversized Longhorns shirt, eyes red, not crying red, tired red. "Marcus, what are you doing here?" "You disappeared." She leaned against the doorframe. I needed space. From me? From performing. Her voice cracked on the word. Do you know how exhausting it is? Wondering when you'll wake up and realize you can do better, waiting for the punchline? I stood. There, hands in my pockets. There's no punchline. There's always a punchline with guys like you. Guys like me? Fit, put together, the kind who dates girls like me as a phase, a story to tell your gym buddies about how open-minded you are. That hit harder than it should have. I opened my mouth, closed it. She was crying now, real tears, and I didn't have words big enough. I'm not a phase, I finally said. I'm just a guy who likes sitting across from you. For how long? She whispered. Until someone prettier, thinner, easier shows up? I didn't have an answer that wouldn't sound like a promise I couldn't guarantee, so I just stood there. She wiped her face. You should go. Vanessa, please. I left, sat in my truck for 20 minutes staring at her building. The light in her window stayed on. I wanted to go back to say something that would fix it, but I didn't know what that was. I drove home, the silence louder than any argument. At early I went back. Not to her apartment, to Halcyon Coffee. Same corner table, 7 p.m. I sat there with 2 cups, hers with oat milk and cinnamon, mine black. I didn't text, didn't call, just waited. She walked in at 7:42, saw me, stopped. I could see her deciding whether to stay or leave. She sat down. You didn't have to do this, she said quietly. I know. Then why? I slid her coffee across the table. Because I'm not done sitting across from you. She stared at the cup, then at me. I'm a lot, Marcus. My body, my brain, my baggage. I take up space. I always will. Good. I like space that's filled. Her eyes searched mine. You don't know what you're saying. Maybe not. But I know I spent all week in a warehouse moving boxes, and the only thing I looked forward to was texting you about stupid stuff. I know barbecue tastes better when you're explaining why their tagline sucks. I know I don't want to be the guy who walked away because he was too scared to just show up. She was quiet for a long moment. Then she picked up the coffee, took a sip. Oat milk, you remembered. I remember a lot of things. We sat there as the coffee shop filled with the evening crowd. Students with laptops, couples on awkward first dates, a guy reading poetry in the corner. Normal life, moving around us. I'm not promising it'll be easy, she finally said. I'm not asking for easy. Just Saturdays? I smiled. Saturdays work. She smiled back, real and cautious. We didn't hold hands, didn't make declarations. Just sat there with lukewarm coffee and the understanding that sometimes showing up is the whole point. The window reflected us back. 2 people, imperfect, present. That was enough.